What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about SUI today. SUI, SUI. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I feel like nobody calls it SUI, right? They all call it SUI or SUI. Anyways, it is the 5th day of October. 56 minutes left in the day. $3.55 is the price. We're up about 8.2% on the week, which is outperforming the average altcoin. I think the average altcoin's up like 3 or 4% this week, so that's nice. You're up a little bit more. The blue chips cryptos typically do move up a little bit more before the smaller caps do. I think it's very obvious looking at this on a weekly time frame. You're in this very bullish kind of triangle pattern here. You're going to continue to rally. I think that you're overall clearly in an uptrend, right? Higher lows, higher highs, and you've got a lot more to give. That's for damn sure. I'm actually kind of curious here. This works out flawlessly, you guys. I'm telling you, just do the opposite, right? Do the opposite of what most people do, right? They look at this line and they're like, oh no, we broke out, it's time to sell. If you just bought there, you would have bought at the most perfect time. Watch. It's not a fluke, okay? It's not a fluke. Let's see if we can find it again. I mean, maybe right here, technically, it works momentarily, right? Here, if we connect the dots there, if you bought as soon as you broke below, you would have caught that low dip maybe, and you could have sold the rip. It's not as perfect there. There's not a lot of history for SUI, so it doesn't really help the cause of what I'm trying to explain here. But I'm telling you, man, this is classic. This is timeless. This, as soon as you break it, that's where you buy, actually. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that holds, and we're going to break this out to the upside. If anybody's looking at this and thinking, oh no, we broke out to the downside, you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong, but you're wrong. Looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, let's do that. We'll zoom back out to the weekly. We'll get to the good stuff later. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the weekly. Let's stay on the weekly. Let's talk about this. Okay, you're about to break out. You're about to see movement similar to what you saw here, similar to what you saw here going forward, right? Let's just compare notes. Let's just see where this takes us. Low to high here. We're not going to take the actual high, just the height of the move right here, not the fake out high. Low here to a high as well, right there. If we were putting this at the low, that would imply anything from a $9.21 to a $19 SUI. I'm going to get rid of the lines, and I'm going to put up some other lines. Let's see. Come on, something like that, yeah. We'll delete. I mean, that's the next area that we look at. If we're looking at this here from a high to a low, and unless, of course, we do see this next move being bigger than what this move is, then it's very possible that we continue higher. But high to low right here, we did stop just below the golden ratio. Found support at the 886. Now we're looking to move higher. Found support at the 886. Might go right to the 1886, which is right here at $8.60. $10 psychological resistance. It all makes sense right there, man. If we take this next high to low, and remember that you stopped just below the golden ratio here. You take this next high to low, the golden ratio right there is at about $10. Maybe you stop just below, maybe you stop just above. It's more common to stop at the golden ratio rather than stopping below it. But it's also very common with the 1414, this purple line right here, to stop just above it, just like where that line is there. And that meets the minimum standard of what we've seen so far. Call me crazy, but I don't know if SUI is going to see a weaker move than what it saw here. So my expectation would be that we at least see something around $10. At least, okay? But I also don't believe that we're going to see as powerful of a move as we saw here. So definitely below $20. I think we had it right the first time. The reason being, if we look at SUI, number 14, such a regal title. By the way, guys, take note. Take note right now. I'm not just throwing diss at SUI. I'm throwing shade at everything here in the top 50. Take note of all the famous coins in the top 20, top 50, whatever. Pay attention and try to remember them for next cycle. I would bet over half of them have vacated. Maybe even 75%. See, to a lot of people this cycle, SUI is an OG coin. It's a coin that they've known since the beginning because it's been here for a lot of this cycle. But to me, it's a very new coin. This is my third cycle, and coins like this come and go. I'm not trying to throw shade. Again, I think SUI, I think it's here to stay. But when I say come and go, it comes and goes from these market cap rankings. I don't think it's here to stay at number 14. We'll see. $12.8 billion market cap. With more token unlocks to come, your total supply right now is 3.62 billion that's circulating, 3.26 billion SUIs, with the max supply being 10 billion. You got a lot of diluting to go over time, okay? And actually, if we look at these token unlocks, the way CoinMarketCap has it illustrated, there'll just be a nice steady rate of unlocking until April of 2026. I don't know what that is over there. The white paper might say otherwise, though. I know CoinMarketCap sometimes they get it wrong with this graph, but steady unlock schedule going into the end of the cycle here probably, because I think the cycle will end in April of 2026. We're at about a $12.8 billion market cap, and it's SUI's first market. All this to explain why I don't believe we're going to get above $20 on this next run, because I don't believe SUI will see a $100 billion market cap or more. I don't believe you'll get over an $80 billion market cap, but if you do, that's pushing it. It's possible, but it's pushing it. There's only two cryptos in the existence of crypto's history that have seen a $100 billion market cap or more in their first bull cycle, and that's Ethereum and XRP. SUI could be the next Ethereum. It could be the next whatever. It could be better. Maybe better than both of them. I don't know. But in that time, the markets were a lot less saturated. This time, there's a lot of competition. To get to those levels of market cap valuations, the dollar would either have to hyperinflate, or more likely, we would have to have institutional involvement. But institutions are not going to get involved with a coin that hasn't even been around for a full bear market, right? You came around in May 2023, like the beginnings of this bull market. You haven't even seen hardship yet. We've seen hardship. What are you talking about? No, this is not hardship, you guys. 90% drop. Every single crypto that comes out in its first year, its first cycle, whenever it goes into its first bear market, they all see a 90% drop or more. You haven't seen that. You haven't seen anything close to that. And traditional investors, institutional investors, they say the same things. They say things like, you can promise the world, you can be the next big thing on the block, but if you don't stand the test of time, you're not worth looking into. How many projects have large investors, large institutions gotten burned with because they were taking a leap of faith on a new project, right? This is a new project. To get what I'm trying to get to, if you're not picking up on it, is to get a $100 billion market valuation, you need layers of institutional money. And they're just not going to invest in something that's brand new that hasn't stood the test of time. That's all I'm trying to get at here. So with that in mind, again, you're at a let's call it a $13 billion market cap. I keep clicking on this chart. I mean to click on this one. This is SUI also, but it's got the ribbons on it. I'm sorry I keep doing that. It's giving me vertigo. $12 billion, you're likely not going to see a $13 billion actually. You're likely not going to see a 8x, even a 7x. You're likely not even to see a 7x by the end of this cycle for SUI. I keep doing it, man. I'm just going to move this over here because it's getting so annoying. So 7x is like your maximum potential. That puts you right here. Okay. Why am I saying 7x? Because again, $80 billion is going to be incredibly hard to reach. Now, we're talking about this because we're trying to get to the next move. Okay. The next move, which you're starting now, will likely end, I would think, going into January, really. I think we're going to pump going into the end of October. We might consolidate a little bit in November and continue to move up, but I would think it's sometime in the end of January. I think SUI is going to get tied up at this $10 area. And if I'm wrong, I don't think you get above 1677. And the reason for that is you need to save room for your final onslaught to the upside, which will be around this $20 to $25 area, $22 to $25 area. I doubt you get above that. I'm not trying to harsh anybody's feelings. I'm just very blunt with my opinions and my analysis and my experience. This is my third bull market. SUI could be the third crypto in existence to ever get to $100 billion in the first cycle. It could be, or likely not, probably not. That's probably not what's going to happen. Every ETH killer I've ever heard of, they existed for about one cycle. And SUI's made a lot of money, man. It's going to continue to make a lot of money. It's been a very successful coin this whole cycle. I mean, from its low, if you snagged it, you had a 9x move there. But just overall, as far as overall performance goes, I think this thing is going to underperform the average altcoin between now and the rest of the market. Mark my words, guys. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but SUI will be one of the biggest disappointments of this cycle. Not for the people who the tokens are unlocking for. Not for the people who are getting a bag at this, right? But the bag holders, the investors, It's not really going to benefit you. I make videos like this all the time. You know, we do our technical analysis. We come up with logical answers. I can't think of a logical situation that would imply SUI gets above $25, guys. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't. $26, 25.60, whatever. It can get maybe right there, but any much higher than that, I just can't see you getting really too far above this area here. We look at the ribbons here, very neutral, right? You've been moving sideways, so it's not really respected on the daily. Weekly ribbon here looks very bullish. You're ready. You're definitely cocked and loaded and ready to go. We're just waiting on this move up that'll take you above about $3, $4. Once you get above about $4, that's how you know you're breaking out to new all-time highs. But again, I would be hard-pressed. I don't think that you're going to see SUI above $10, or I should say $11, $10.80 by the end of October. I think you'll be in that area, $10.80, $9, something like that by the end of October, maybe going into November. Consolidate. Then you'll continue to rally, right? You'll have your little moves, and then March, April, May, somewhere in that time, that'll be when you top off at this. Assumedly, you'll stop somewhere around $22 to $25. And if I'm wrong, my guess would be this: I'm not wrong because it went higher. I'm wrong because it didn't go high enough. I'm not kidding you guys. And I say this bluntly because it's against the grain of what the average person who talks about SUI says. Take all your partnerships, take all your backing, take all your fundamental whatevers that you got written on a white paper, all your promises, and shove them where the sun don't shine. Because it doesn't mean anything if you hadn't stood the test of time. And you don't get $100 billion market valuations unless you stand the test of time. And if I'm wrong on this, cool. Let's pretend I'm wrong. I'm wrong. So it goes to above 100 billion. How high are you going to go? 200 billion? You saw how difficult it was for me to even come around to the idea of going to 80 billion or higher. Let's get crazy. Let's say you see a $200 billion market cap, which again, in your first bull market, no crypto has ever done that. None of them have gotten close. But SUI might be the first? Probably not. Again, I've seen coins like this throughout my whole existence. My whole existence as a crypto trader, not my whole existence. $13 billion, a 10x is 130 billion. Which means a 17x would basically put you at just over 200 billion. So let's even do like a 16x. Let's just say that. A 16x gets you to $200 billion. You guys, the average altcoin is going to do a 20x by the end of this cycle. This is impossible. And it's still underperforming the average altcoin. You feel me? You hear what I'm saying? If you're under the belief that SUI is, and please don't click away, I've got a very important point to make here, okay? For anybody who's thinking SUI is going to go to $100 or more this cycle, or anywhere above $25 this cycle, let's say $26 just to be safe. For anybody who thinks that, I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions, okay? A series of questions. And if they come back, just, how did I know that you'd answer yes, right? Because of experience, because this is my 10th year doing this. Is this your first cycle? If your answer is yes, all right, we're right on track for you being a sucker. No offense. We're all suckers in the first cycle. Some of us get really lucky, but most of us, you know, crypto it's a sucker's market, man. Right? Number 2, how did you hear about SUI? And it's kind of a two-part question. I would bet you heard about SUI from somebody who says that SUI is their biggest bag, or they've got a lot invested in SUI, and they probably have a very large YouTube channel, right? Like one of the larger YouTube channels. I bet you heard about SUI first from some of these largest accounts in the game. I would assume that's where you heard it from, right? Are you connecting any dots there yet, right? Like, okay, so it's marketing. These token unlocks that are going to happen, they're going to the people who are making these claims, who are saying these things, because they're the ones getting paid. They don't even have to invest. They just have to pump the price up enough. SUI doesn't even have to do anything impressive. It's worth $12, $13 billion. Everybody's going to get a slice of the pie. It's a money grab. It's a clear money grab. I would stay away from it. I wouldn't put my money in it. I wouldn't put your money in it. With that being said, will you make money with it? Yeah. But you're in crypto. If you want to make a 6x by the end of this market or a 7x by the end of this market, just invest in stocks. Whatever. You know? I don't know. Invest in MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is a better choice. Invest in not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but you'd probably do better with various other stocks. He'd probably do better with gold. Maybe not better with gold, but I kid there. But I'm just saying this is not it. I hope you hate this video. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.